Hey guys, I hope all is well. Thank you for joining me for this Truth Talk episode. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about Clive Davis, the man behind the monster P. Diddy. Let's get right into it. If you have been online in the past few days or saw my last video on Diddy, then you already know about the accusations made by Cassie directed at Diddy. Cassie was suing Diddy for an undisclosed amount for the trauma she went through in the relationship with Diddy for over a decade. Even though many people had suspicions that Diddy was a sinister guy, there wasn't anyone in the industry really pointing fingers at Diddy until now. Cassie came out and accused Diddy of not only R-wording her and putting his hands on her, but also she claims he turned her into his own personal love slave. Cassie claimed that Diddy would routinely have her participate in what he called freak-offs or FOs, where Diddy would allegedly have Cassie hook up with hired men he made her get off the internet. She alleges that Diddy during these FOs would just sit in a corner watching and keeping his hands to himself. Cassie claimed that Diddy had her on heavy amounts of substances to be able to participate in these freak-offs. While the world was shocked and was expecting Diddy to finally pay for his sins, this wasn't at all what happened. Within 24 hours of the media reporting on Cassie filing the lawsuit, Diddy reached out to Cassie deciding to settle the lawsuit out of court for an undisclosed amount. It is rumored that this undisclosed amount could have been upwards of $50 million. Usually lawsuits never end this quickly. This is unheard of, especially considering what Cassie was accusing Diddy of. Even though Diddy denied doing anything to Cassie, he decided to give her money to shut her up. Immediately, this told me that Diddy was definitely guilty of what Cassie was accusing him of doing. Why else pay her to shut up? It also confirms to me that what Cassie had revealed to the world was only the tip of the iceberg, and what she has stashed on Diddy is much worse. Cassie was with Diddy for over 11 years, and she saw the truth behind Diddy. She saw all of the sick demonic activities Diddy is into, activities that she herself was a victim of. Just imagine the amount of dirt she really has on Diddy. With all this being out there, it still appears that Diddy is going to slither his way out of this one, and by next month, this story would be water under the bridge, especially when you realize just how powerful Diddy truly is. The day that Cassie's lawsuit hit the news, TMZ reported that a source in the NYPD confirmed there were case files on Diddy, indicating that he was being investigated for an SA case. People assumed this was connected to the situation with Cassie. Not long after TMZ reported this, they retracted the article and reported that the NYPD denied any allegations that they were investigating Diddy. Almost like the NYPD themselves are afraid of Diddy too. This tells you the amount of power this man truly has. He can make criminal investigations disappear like some sort of magician. I'm actually surprised nothing has happened to Cassie. She actually filed the restraining order on Diddy after they broke up, and I believe this is what might have kept her safe. I'm not saying Diddy cares about a restraining order, as he's a big bad wolf. But Diddy knows that if she were to be taken out or go missing, he would be the first person people would look at due to his restraining order. Same thing that would happen if Diddy decided to take Cassie out today. Everyone will point their fingers at Diddy. So if Diddy is planning on getting Cassie out of the picture, he is going to most likely do it like it was done to Kim Porter. He is gonna wait a few years and then take her out when no one is expecting, blaming it on substances or maybe even pneumonia since it worked for the last problem. Diddy is truly a monster and represents everything that's wrong with the music industry. What most people don't know is that Diddy actually had a mentor that molded him into the monster he is today. Most of you should have heard about the powerful music executive Clive Davis and his contribution to hip-hop. Clive Davis was behind artists like TLC, Whitney Houston, and Brandy. Back in the 90s, Clive Davis actually signed Diddy to a label deal for Bad Boys after Diddy convinced him that hip-hop was going to be the next big mainstream music. The story goes, Diddy was fired from Uptown Records and was looking for a new home for his record company Bad Boys. This is when Diddy ended up meeting Clive Davis, who decided to fund Diddy's Bad Boy vision, taking Diddy under his wing and mentoring him. After becoming Clive's prodigy, Diddy became the mega hip-hop executive and mogul he is today, reaching heights he wouldn't be able to without a man like Clive Davis behind him. Now, the industry for many years has been talking about this meeting between Diddy and Clive Davis, claiming that Diddy did way more than just show music to Clive. According to many in the industry, it was believed that in the 1994 meeting, Diddy actually got on his knees for Clive Davis and did some extracurricular activities for him. It is also alleged that Diddy would then end up secretly dating Clive during this time for 5 years. For years, this has remained an unconfirmed industry rumor that no one really had any proof of for the longest. Well, that all changed back in 2013 when Clive Davis himself wrote in his memoir that he was indeed a bi man who was into men and women, openly confessing that he had secretly dated many men within the industry. This for most confirmed the rumors that Diddy had to pay a dark price for his success. It appears that Diddy learned all of his dark shady tactics from his mentor Clive Davis. Clive Davis took advantage of Diddy, just how Diddy takes advantage of artists today. Some of you should remember the allegations made by Jaguar White against Diddy. She claimed that a former lawyer who worked for Diddy had revealed to her some very disturbing information. Wright said that Diddy had a meeting with singer and New Jack City actor Christopher Williams about possibly signing a demo deal. The attorney in question needed to get approval for some paperwork and went to Diddy's office to speak with him. Jaguar claims the lawyer said the door wasn't locked, so she didn't think twice about just walking in. When she walked in, she saw Christopher Williams performing a little extra for Diddy. This story by Jaguar Wright, although unconfirmed, was believed by many as they don't put it past Diddy. What gives this story more validation is that Jaguar isn't the only person alleging that Diddy was into these kind of activities. Exhibit also seems to confirm that Diddy gets down like that, even claiming that Diddy took him to a male gay club to party. Another person who accuses Diddy of these activities is a comedian by the name of Fat Jew, who previously told a story that is very similar on a podcast. According to this comedian, he walked in on Diddy during a Miami party while he was spooning with another man by the name of Felix the House Cat.
Is there anything that you want to talk about that
I want to talk about...
you want people to know about?
I don't know if the story that I have about P. Diddy is a thing.
Oh, I love it.
You think it's something
we did talk about it on the show, but you told us off the show.
Should I just tell you?
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to. I mean, listen, this isn't alleged because it happened to you.
No. So nothing alleged about this.
Okay.
It is a legend. I went to a party on Star Island in Miami where P. Diddy has a private residence. I had no business being there. I was with a famed house producer who was the party.
Sure.
And I will keep his name out of it because everyone there was taking ecstasy. It was basically me and like beautiful like ethnic models, like kind of stumbling around. It's like, it's all like, my man is telling me that like, every third person is some executive, got behind the scenes guys who I don't recognize.
It's a high-end crowd.
Very high-end. No joke, there's maybe 100 people. I mean, it is intimate.
It's a serious
I have
serious
no business
party.
being there. Sure. I'm trying to find the bathroom. And I can't find the bathroom, and I just kind of like go down a flight of stairs, and now I'm in like inner windings of the mansion. So I get lost, and I'm in like maze of rooms.
Yeah.
Now, I'm looking for the bathroom. The door, and in that room, there are a bunch of men. And they're all kind of like very like Romanesque, like laying about and, kind of like very like kind of leaning on each other.
Okay.
It was very like
regal lounging.
Very erotic.
Okay.
Erotica.
Yeah, like the drawings you would see of like old Greek.
Yeah, so I'm there for a very brief amount of time because clearly I'm not supposed to be in there. And I look, who is lounging in my direct eye line? Puff Daddy and Felix the House Cat. Famed house music producer.
Yeah, no, it is.
Basically spooning each other. I swear to God, they're basically spooning and they're drinking of Hennessy. And they're like sharing it. Passing it back and forth.
And everyone's talking?
And everone's just like talking.
Yeah.
As soon as I see them, I'm like...
All men, though. There's not one woman in this room.
All men. And
Yeah.
the minute I make eye contact with him, a gigantic bouncer comes over and says, get the fuck out.
Are you nervous at all in like a Breaking Bad kind of way that maybe people were going to be sent to your house or something? Like,
100%.
Because I'd be a little nervous.
See, now, what I'm doing to combat that is by talking about it publicly on podcasts.
Yeah, because this will come back.
Right. Because I'm most safe if I talk about it publicly.
That's so crazy.
Right.
As you heard for yourself, this comedian claims that Diddy was spooning with another man. He even claims that he is now in fear of Diddy's retaliation. Even a popular Vine creator claimed to have had a relationship with Diddy very similar to the rest. Jay Versace claims that Diddy had invited him to his mansion at the heights of his career. Jay made these allegations under a post that showed women jumping on Diddy's massive outdoor bed, where Jay claimed Diddy had him bent over that same bed. It's clear to me that Diddy learned these activities from Clive Davis, who was the one who initiated him into the industry. Something else that Clive Davis seems to have taught Diddy is how to get rid of artists that become problematic. Some people online believe that Clive Davis took out some of his artists that he was having problems with, one being Whitney Houston. It's pretty much well known that Whitney Houston passed from substances, but according to some people online, this wasn't what happened at all. Some people believe that Clive had Whitney taken out for his benefit, as Whitney was aging out and being replaced with a younger artist, Brandy. People believe that Clive had people go up to Whitney's hotel room and take her out, making it appear like a substance-related situation. This theory was actually backed up by an investigator who claims Whitney was taken out by high-end dealers who she owed $1.5 million to. This investigator claimed he found defensive wounds on Whitney, stating it was no way she took herself out. What's even stranger is that when it was reported that Whitney had passed, they told Clive Davis, who was hosting a pre-Grammy party at the very same hotel Whitney was found in. Clive was alerted about Whitney's passing before the party began and still decided to host a massive party, almost appearing like he was celebrating the fact that she had been taken out. What makes this entire situation even stranger is that 2 days before Whitney had passed away, she crashed an interview between Brandy and Clive Davis, handing Brandy a secret note. No one knows what this note stated, but it is believed it was a warning to Brandy to watch out for Clive. I think I should take a deeper look into what happened to Whitney. If that is something you guys want to see, comment Whitney below. Whitney wasn't the only artist that passed mysteriously while being signed to Clive Davis, as Lisa Left Eye Lopez also passed mysteriously while being signed under Clive. Many people believe what happened to Lisa was for sure linked to Clive. If we look at Diddy, he seems to have the same problem. His artists and people around him seem to pass away mysteriously, just like we saw with Biggie, Kim Porter, and even what's alleged he did to Tupac.
I'm sorry, I'm a little upset about it because Al B. Shore just came out of his coma. I've been talking to Al. We've been texting back and forth, and I'm just glad that he's alive to text. But when you think about Kim, I was thinking to myself the other day, Uptown Records started with 5 people. Andre Harrell, Al B. Shore, Heavy D, and Puffy. And Kim was the longest working employee. He was there from the very beginning. She's Andre's personal assistant. Kim is dead. Heavy D is dead. Andre Harrell is dead. The only 2 left are Puffy and Al, and Al almost died. Isn't that interesting? Heavy D was fed face down in the heart attack. Andre Harrell, heart attack. Kim died from pneumonia.
It's obvious to me Diddy was taught everything he knows by Clive Davis. These disturbing tactics were passed down to him by this exec. So when we look at what Diddy is accused of doing to Cassie, we know where it comes from. Diddy sold his soul years ago in that office to Clive Davis on his knees. Clive made him a monster and taught Diddy the evil that he's using today. The evil that Cassie and many others have to deal with. Cassie isn't the only girlfriend Diddy had that has come out and exposed him, as another secret girlfriend by the name of Gina said very similar things about him. Gina claims that she had a secret relationship with Diddy while he was with Cassie. She claims the same things Diddy did to Cassie, he also did to her, claiming that Diddy would routinely put hands on her and much more. He even claimed that he tried to force an abortion and tried to pay her off to do it. Gina came out and claimed all of this way before Cassie, but it remained under wraps because of Diddy's power. Diddy has so much power, and we have been seeing him demonstrate that power. Nobody except for DJ Academics has really been talking about Diddy in this Cassie situation, and I believe Academics is only covering it because he is scared of Diddy after he came at him a few times over his beef with Saucy Santana. Ak even claims that Diddy invited him to a party where Ak thought Diddy was trying to set him up.
Real talk, I think Diddy tried to line me on some Tupac shit. Like, yo, real talk. Like, I think Diddy tried to pock me. Yo, I can't wait to tell you all the truth. So, the other night, Diddy out here doing some you know what I mean? Like, whatever. So, anyway, we trying to find somewhere to go. They say, yo, call come in and say, yo, Diddy sent a personal invite for a big act to come pull up with him. And I'm like, yo, out a back door, but it sounds like a front door type of thing. Like, yo, this is mad direct. Like, yo, tell Playboy to come party with me. Like, hold on now. Like, hold on now. You get what I mean?
It's obvious that Ak is speaking out to keep Diddy from coming after him, as he knows that Diddy would look suspicious if he takes Ak out right now after he was talking about him. Diddy is showing his gatekeeper power right as this situation is happening. In my opinion, I still heavily believe this is only happening to Diddy because he tried to stand up to the elite. Like I mentioned in the last video, this all started to happen to Diddy after he decided to sue Ciroc for racial discrimination back in July of this year. He then sued the parent company that owned Ciroc, Diego, for what he alleged was unlawful retaliation, claiming the company was after him, trying to ruin him after this disagreement. While Diddy is extremely powerful and connected, those who own Diego are the ones above him with way more power. This entire situation is a battle between a gatekeeper and the real elite of the world. I believe this situation is only going to get worse for Diddy unless he decides to back down in the fight with the elite. Another person who recently had a battle with the elite was Kanye, and we all saw how that ended. Kanye fell back in place, apologized, and went back to business with Adidas. If Diddy doesn't do the same, he would end up in jail or worse. For the longest, people heard rumors of Diddy's evil, but now these rumors are being confirmed, and Diddy is finally being exposed. We are seeing the magnitude of Diddy's evil and just how far he is willing to go. It's being alleged that he held Wale over a balcony for doing a song with Cassie. It was also rumored that he made Kid Cudi's car go boom for dating Cassie. All of this shows how Diddy gets down in the industry. Something I did find strange was a psychic by the name of Sloan Bella, who basically predicted this entire situation 6 months ago. Slay made a YouTube video back in June claiming that Diddy was going to be exposed for this very thing on November 15th. And Diddy ended up being exposed on November 16th.
Another aspect of this is so crazy. I am being shown November of 2023. So her death date was November 15th of 2018, but I'm being shown November of 2023. I don't think we're done with this. I feel she's shaking her head yes. Before she stare at me, then she wait, and now she's shaking her head yes. I am being shown that things are being prepared. She is showing me a trumpet. People are standing straight up, and there are people going to speak, not just about what happened to her, about other things. Something is unraveling. 5 months. The time is being marked. 5 months. So June, July, August, September, October, November. I'm going for November 15th. Or right around there. It's coming out. It will not. You cannot keep this. She's literally, you cannot stop the truth.
Now, I don't believe in fortune tellers, and I still don't, but I do find it highly suspicious that this woman was able to predict the situation over 5 months before it happened. You guys tell me below how you think she was able to predict this. Diddy's evil can be traced back to the man who created him, Clive Davis. This is the reason he does what he does, and it is the reason he is allowed to be one of the biggest gatekeepers in the industry. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.